What is happening, everybody? Let's have a look at the cryptocurrency market. We got Celsius up 50% amid GameStop style short squeeze attempt. I found this interesting because I came across this tweet here. For some reason I was blocked, but anyway, I was able to still grab a screen dump, basically saying, I think from another fellow Hexagon, be careful, crypto brothers and sisters, do not FOMO into this one. Probably should slide across. It says don't FOMO into this one. I was like, okay, what's going on? So I did a quick search, pulled this up. Celsius, GameStop, short, squeeze, attempt. What does that mean? Basically, if you read this article, I'll put it in the description below. It's saying that it appears because Celsius, reportedly it appears because Celsius has frozen all assets, it's not paying out any rewards to anyone. The current circulating supply of Cell tokens appears to be being bought up on exchanges, cashed out, moved to decentralized exchanges, and set limit orders, so basically it becomes more rare. Wonder where that could be useful. Basically, it explains how one may go about that, and that is the attempt at the GameStop short squeeze, because it appears major traders, margin traders, would be shorting this particular token, and if they go to short it and all the liquidity is not on decentralized exchanges, because you have to remember, not your keys, not your crypto, then it would be harder to, I guess, manipulate the price or continue to sell down on these exchanges. That leads me to the next thing regarding exchanges. What did I find? I found that basically there was an article here saying one cryptocurrency Australian exchange has shut down amid market volatility. So that would be the negative, right? Basically, it's going to close down due to crypto crash, putting pressure on the exchanges. It goes into a bit further detail here. Basically, this screen dump here. So they're going to keep it alive till Friday, July 22nd. So I thought that was pretty interesting, and I'll put it up on this particular video. I kept digging around though, and what is also happening at the same time is another exchange. Where is it? This one, I believe. No, not that one. Where is it? Here. So another exchange in Australia though has actually become the first crypto exchange to get an Australian financial service license, which is very odd because they don't require this. So I dug around a little bit and was pretty sure this was their website, but I had to verify. Nothing actually listed, although I do find these in Australia. It's not too bad. There is a fair bit of innovation. Generally seem to be supporting cryptocurrency. However, I'm not sure if the support at one stage will turn into overreaching regulation and to stifle innovation. That is yet to be seen. But I think this group here, Blockchain Australia, seem to have basically their presence known within the cryptocurrency space, within the middleman exchanges space, basically. Because I was thinking maybe there could be some sort of issue where people would run into difficulties moving money in and out of cryptocurrency. You know, like you have your Coinbase, you would, if they sold HEX, I would go and buy HEX directly there, for example. And if those exchanges weren't around, it would be pretty hard to move fiat into cryptocurrency, thus stifling growth in that sector. That's when I saw the exchange closing. I thought, is this a concern? Is it a risk? But then you look into this one, and it's the complete opposite. So I had a quick look, not this one. Oh, here's the basic Blockchain Australia website, I believe, yep, .org. And yeah, building the Australian blockchain ecosystem, not what I'm after. This here. So BTC Markets becomes first Australian crypto firm to get a financial service license. It's not actually required. It says it's preparing for upcoming regulations. Not sure what they're referring to there. I'll leave a link in the description to this particular article. It says it, again, this is for like entertainment purposes, basically, to get you to think about things for yourself, make an informed decision. An Australian financial services license allows the holder to give advice, deal in and create a market for a financial product. It also permits provision of custodial or depository services, among other perks. So either more regulation is coming, or they may be offering different financial services to individuals who transact on this particular exchange. It's very interesting. I'm going to be watching that one pretty close as to why and what they're going to be doing. That's like the complete opposite of exchanges closing. It's showing that they're linked in with larger exchanges. They've like become a group of middlemen who are getting these licenses, and they become the exchanges. You know, you've got CoinSpot here in Australia, Independent Reserve, and now BTC Markets. It's very strange to see this trend developing. It's good. I am pro-innovation, but not pro-regulation, unnecessary regulation, that is. I wonder what this upcoming financial collapse of crypto has planned for us. Is it that cryptocurrency exchanges are taking advantage of this and their backers? Because these guys all have basically backers is the way I read it, for lack of a better term. What they state in this reportedly what they state is where is it? The exchange what goes over the daily volume. So they are purchasing cryptocurrency, and who's they and how are they getting it is my questions. And basically what they say is here. Another exchange, signed a deal with another platform to offer access to Bitcoin, ETH, Ripple, and Chainlink and Uniswap from June 30. So the middlemen themselves are purchasing cryptocurrency, and it's not as if I could get this wrong, this could be wrong. They're purchasing cryptocurrency from another cryptocurrency dealer, and the assumption to me would be they have to then buy the cryptocurrency from somewhere else. So whether that be over the counter or on the market, it is, I haven't got the answers to that. But it's not quite that the exchange in this case, or reportedly, is actually buying the cryptocurrency from, like a decentralized exchange or anything like that. They're actually getting the cryptocurrency from another service provider, and that service provider, how they obtain the cryptocurrency. If you think about times of economic crisis and huge crashes, maybe these entities are actually benefiting from these lower cryptocurrency prices. Maybe they've got shorts out. Maybe they're actually making profit from a declining cryptocurrency market, and then once the price gets lower, are able to actually enter in the price, are able to purchase the asset, whatever that may be, at a lower price, effectively winning twice, which doesn't seem quite right, but that's the world we live in. That I found to be quite fascinating. Yeah, there's a lot more going on than the surface indicates. So we have here which economics, and basically the floor is not lava today, keeping in mind who are the big players in cryptocurrency regarding the exchanges and where the exchanges actually get their cryptocurrency from. Who would have thought? That is a thing. HEX is actually up over the 4-cent mark. And before I jump in and have a look at that, in this time, where exchanges are closing, isn't it good to know that hex.com is up 100% and no downtime, flawless operation, producing trustless interest? Meanwhile, you might have an instance where you go to get your cryptocurrency out of your favorite exchange and they experience connectivity issues. Or sometimes you want to get cryptocurrency at a certain rate and for some reason they just seem to take forever to get the transaction processed. Again, it's not like you're going to a decentralized exchange, pressing the buy, sell button, whatever, and are making that trade. When you go through middlemen, you have to suck middleman D. Then they might be taking it from somewhere else. So how deep does the rabbit hole go? What else have I got for you guys? Let's have a look here. Yeah, so I was looking at some other exchanges, whether or not any other ones have failed. Reportedly, there is some news relating to, I'll do a refresh, slightly changed. Interesting. Yeah, basically, because the market is down, everyone's feeling pain. Yeah, there could be some entities buying at a huge discount. This one actually jumped off that search for some reason. But anyway, yeah, basically another exchange due to close down. And this one is because a license was revoked. So when a cryptocurrency is in a position to provide its services, should they then need a license to operate, that can be taken from them, and then that exchange is no longer functional. That's why I found the article previously with them applying for certain licenses regarding BTC markets, that if they, applying for these licenses, what are they preempting? Do they foresee that all exchanges require these licenses? And if you don't have these licenses, you can't function? Because I'm not sure that is a good way to function. I guess I'm looking for pressure points or vectors of attack that regulative bodies could, for whatever reason, put the screws on or even close outright for whatever reason. This is not what cryptocurrency is for. I mean, if you want to purchase cryptocurrency, you have no fiat on-ramp, then how exactly are you going to do this in the future? If, for example, all exchanges required certain licenses and you were barred from using that license, how would one then purchase cryptocurrency? Would that make it illegal for a person to even own cryptocurrency? Is the next step, if you think about it at an even deeper level. Just some food for thought. I don't think cryptocurrency is going to be made like outright illegal. Obviously, it's like cash. People could use it for the wrong thing. They could also donate to people in nefarious situations, not nefarious, or they could donate to people in harm's way, like in a war-torn, savage country, and people want to donate to that. They could donate to all sorts of charities through cryptocurrency. So you can't say cryptocurrency is purely evil or anything like that. But I don't think governments want to kill basically the golden goose, because through innovation, I think lots of new money is going to be made. If you have a look at the derivatives market, it's about like 1 quadrillion. That's insane amounts of Fugazi, like if cryptocurrency is able to produce new millionaires, new billionaires, new trillionaires, or basically, encourage entrepreneurial aspirations by individuals, and then they take the economic energy and invest it however they see fit. They might start businesses, they might donate to charity, they might support causes they think are fit, they might open their own, soup kitchens, Things like that, you know, like why would you want to stifle such innovation? It makes no sense. The way that cryptocurrency has been able to run, I don't see that happening. I do see people who are making mad gains with cryptocurrency basically, if they're making mad gains, like it's going to be flagged like a normal system, you know, like where did this money come from? How did you get it? Can you explain? Yes or no? Those sorts of things. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. But yeah, the whole license thing, you don't want to, my thoughts are you don't want an environment, an ecosystem where licenses are required to just to breathe. You know, what's the point of that? You're just going to stifle innovation. Hence my concerns when I see some exchanges closing, then in the same breath another one opening with new licenses. Like what is coming for cryptocurrency. Moving on, I was having a look around what else I could find. Crypto related stocks plunge amid liquidity crisis. So the liquidity crisis, I'm wondering if people are finally realizing that it's not your keys, not your crypto, and people are not performing a bank run, but performing an exchange run. Because the exchanges, when you think about it, are almost like the banks of cryptocurrency, although less safe than the banks. And then as I say that, it's like, oh, but then you like, what are you supporting the banks of cryptocurrency? I'm merely saying you need them to function. You need on and off ramps, and you want like them not to close and run off with your money, which is fair enough. Beyond that though, I don't think they need to know, what am I trying to say? I don't think they need to know, although the blockchain analysis will divulge this information, but I don't think you need to know, they need to know what you are doing with your cryptocurrency. But in saying that, if you have a look at the on-chain data, it's pretty straightforward what you're doing. So why then would regulations be put in place, you know, to sort of clamp down on different movements of cryptocurrency when everything's on chain? It's very illogical in my mind. Although for someone who doesn't understand cryptocurrency, I'm thinking maybe they go for the maximum push, like, you know, borderline ban all cryptocurrencies without insane regulation. And then you have to push back and be like, no, this is logical, this is illogical, this is stupid, this doesn't make sense. But you got to get to the people that make those decisions, is my thoughts. Back to the liquidity crisis. We are seeing basically a paywall here. A headline saying global stocks gain ground, crypto steadies. But yeah, so I had a look around. I wanted to hold off making a video because I wanted to see how the global markets react. They're not dumping further yet, and it seems at the same time there's a bit of a, I don't know if you call it a recovery on cryptocurrency, but it's up a little bit and still holding up. Whether or not it will maintain this particular trend, I'm not sure, because what am I trying to say here? Because could it be that the bottom was in? Because I think maybe the 11k bottom, I thought the 11k bottom was called by Richard Hart, but also I remember him saying because it peaked a bit higher, it actually might have been a 15k bottom. So a 17.9 bottom is very close to 15 in my thoughts, because if the liquidations take place on the AAVE loan that's running, and liquidations take place on, I think there was another one, what was it? If the Solana debacle continues on and people can't access their funds there, they may then lose confidence in the system of that ecosystem and start pulling funds out. Again, they may be pulling out of the existing exchanges because these people don't understand, not your key, not your crypto. When these people are pulling their funds out of these exchanges, that's making the price, I guess, because I think they're called price oracles, or however they determine price, like you have a look at Dex Screener, it's like a different pairs from the liquidity pools provided. So whether or not it's like, say, HEX USDC or HEX wrapped ETH, vice versa, they may have at times different prices, and then you have the arbitrage opportunity, and the arbitrage opportunity kicks in, and then you actually find your price, like the actual price. And whether or not a particular exchange uses a particular oracle will depend on what price they use on their system, their front end. So for instance, Nomics here may use the price oracle from that's interesting, it's pretty cool, 0.44. They may use the price for, you know, hex die or something, and then another exchange might use the I'm just making shit up here, but another exchange might use, like, you know, hex and wrapped ETH. Prices might differ basically. Then on top of that, if they've got, you know, leverage positions and the ability to long and short, and then if people don't pay up, then they basically get liquidated. On top of that, it makes the system more complex. It encourages gambling, and it encourages basically what's the word? If cryptocurrency was supposed to give you financial freedom, why would you give the thing that provides you freedom? Why would you give that to someone else? And if you say, no, you're not doing that, but you're putting it on an exchange, but you don't control the keys of it, then you literally gave away your freedom. Is probably the best way to put that. Now, that is about all, my friends. Yeah. Imagine if the only exchange in all of Thailand just shuts down. What's that going to do to the cryptocurrency market? How are people going to get their funds out? Because say you've got cryptocurrency sitting on there, if they don't issue a refund or it gets seized or something, you can't physically send your cryptocurrency to, like, another jurisdiction that is that you're able to access your funds. That's crazy. That doesn't seem right. That feels like you're taking a step back towards becoming what you don't want to be. Like, why would you to try and escape from the system, you're like the banking system, so you're trying to escape from that system, why would you then create something that mimics it? That makes no sense. We can see there's issues with that current system. Case in point here is, remember quantitative easing? They said it doesn't work on the textbook, but it works in real life. What they were saying is they don't know what the fuck they're doing, because they're just going to get this shit done. They're going to print infinite money by purchasing assets which mimics the infinite printing of money. And then we don't care what's going to happen in the future. Well, we're now in the future, and however many rounds of quantitative easing have taken place, and they're now easing back, and record low interest rates and inflation at the same time. So previously, the balance would have been high inflation with high rates, because that's how the economy generally functioned. Now, because it's the reverse, we live in crazy world, crazy town, clown world, we've got rates at record low. So unless they go negative and increase inflation even further, they're not going to want to do that. So they have to raise rates to ease back on inflation. Raising the rates, though, I forgot about this, at the same time increases the US dollar, which is very strange, because when you have here a double whammy, I guess they're calling it, the combination of a strange high dollar and high oil price at the same time, when inflation pressures and work shortages are also taking place, placing pressure on the pandemic hit industry's recovery. On top of that, you had the black swan event of COVID, and then like another grey swan event of the Ukraine-Russia war, ongoing war or skirmish. But yeah. So on top of that, you have the oil price and the US dollar typically have an inverse relationship. So, you know, they kind of don't amplify the effects on the economy, like negative effects. So you run an airline, you have to pay high fuel prices, high oil prices, high jet fuel prices. Maybe you have, I'm trying to think how to word this. This is the US dollar typically has an inverse relationship. So even out the financial impact operating other currencies. So basically, if the dollar is low, you might be able to arbitrage it and purchase the fuel in like a different currency. And if there's profits over here and not profits over here, it arbitrages out basically. But when you have high oil prices and high dollar prices, you have no room to wiggle. You're just stuffed. You can't reduce the price of oil through foreign exchange transactions or anything like that. It's kind of a sucky situation. And on top of that, you got food shortages, war, famine. It's the perfect storm for a large-scale global conflict in the future. Not currently, but in the future. Because if times get tougher, if Geral Celente says, when all else fails, they take you to war. Currently, things are being stressed. It's like a maximum stress test. Let's test the supply lines. Let's test the financial system. Let's test the dollar. Let's test the price of oil. Oh my God, people, let's test shortages. And let's crush the economy. So stocks are were crashing. Cryptocurrencies crashing. What do you got left, you know? If you haven't got something like HEX, if you don't own your own keys, what if you put your money into Terra Luna? What if you put your money into Celsius? You know, what if this next short positions on AAVE gets liquidated and there's a mass liquidation of ETH further, crushing the price down? And then as Richard Hart states with his Hart's Law thesis, if all the liquidity pools are connected, it's like one asset pulls down the entire market. If that is true, then arguably foreign exchange is the same. Global exchange of goods, countries' GDPs, every single thing you can think of, the dollar and stock market, the US dollar and the stock markets, every single liquidity pair you can think of, if they're all tied in together, then we see pain in one sector, it pulls every other sector down. It's fascinating when you think about it. It's so simple and so clear when you say it like that, but the actual mechanics I couldn't begin to explain. It's like that, you know, like you see something and it makes so much sense in your mind, you go to explain it, it's like it would take like hours and hours and hours, and then you have to understand different concepts before you can actually understand the actual theory. But the theory could be quite simple, but it is what it is. So it's like when people think they're buying cryptocurrency and they're buying like a sorry, just checking the prices here. See, I saw 44 on Nomics, 4 cents. Still above 4 cents, it's not bad. Let's have a look. Sorry, I just broke complete conversation then. Let's have a look. So they're swapping out from, they're selling HEX going into USDC. Maybe they anticipate a drop of some sort. And then they can go back in and purchase more for the dollar. Or a small recovery will take place and they might miss out. So traders got wrecked. Back to what I was saying. Imagine if someone thinks that owning cryptocurrency is like buying a short or long position on, like, say, what's that one? Everyone shields, Bybit or something like that. And they're like, oh, I own cryptocurrency. It's like, no, you don't. You own a derivative. you own a small fraction of the 1 quadrillion of derivatives, and no one even knows the exact figure. The fake money, the gold that's been fractionally reserved, divided, and then divided again, and divided again. And on top of that, then you add the derivatives market. It's pretty crazy how the whole economy functions. Imagine if there's a bank run on everything at once. What the actual fuck would happen? Where would this money come from? People would be thankful for cryptocurrency because, as we saw before, there was an article suggesting cryptocurrency may help inflation, but they word it as a central bank digital currency. So they're going to be rolling out something else which resembles, or if not is, cryptocurrency, but their version of cryptocurrency. Our version of cryptocurrency will exist also. It will give people freedoms. It will give people the right to choose. It may empower people because they were smart enough to buy some actual Bitcoin and hold it in the actual wallet and have the control over it. And then when they want to go to sell it, you know, they can actually sell it at the amount it's worth. I'm pretty sure that's why Bitcoin was invented, something along the lines of because the infinite printing of money will cause an issue down the road. And if you hold Bitcoin and Bitcoin, say, it keeps up with that mad, insane inflation on top of the quantitative easing, then, you know, you might have a good, arguably a good hedge against inflation. Then imagine you have Bitcoin without any bugs. Ethereum's already been built and it was like HEX is deployed on top of that. And it produces more of itself just for holding itself. And it increases over time. With a T-share mechanism that just continues to grow and grow and grow. So as you hold your asset, it produces more of that thing, which in turn in the future, if it does increase in price, means you can sell that shit for actual money, and at the rate that you hold at the current time, because it's assumably increased by so much, even if inflation is wrecking everything, you still be able to have a reasonable life, you know. But again, people think they hold a short or long position, and they think they hold cryptocurrency. All right, I better wrap this one up. I've been talking for a long time. Let's have a look. But yeah, that's my thoughts for the day. Basically, wrapping up. Celsians, people behind. I don't word that one. I'd like to think it's the little guys getting together, making a short squeeze. Could be, might be, might not be. Be careful if you think you can ride this one up to, you know, a large amount of money. It might not be. You might be working with people you don't think you're actually working with. Markets are up. HEX is up. Some exchanges are closing. Some exchanges are not functioning. Some exchanges are being closed because they haven't got the correct licenses. And some exchanges are actually going overboard and accessing licenses that aren't actually required for some reason. So whether or not they're getting their footing in place, who knows? And on top of that, the exchanges work with other entities to get their cryptocurrency. So where do they actually get their cryptocurrency from is another question for another day. Just like how most people think how banks work, where the money comes from, maybe we'll be surprised where the cryptocurrency comes from. Maybe it doesn't come from the exchanges. Maybe the exchanges, they purchase their crypto from somewhere else. I would love to know where they purchase that from. Love to. You got HEX though. Doesn't really matter. Pulsechain is coming. You get a double of your HEX. You might get some Pulsechain tokens. You might get some PulseX tokens. You have another decentralized exchange. Pretty much all I'd be needing the exchanges for would be to move fiat in, fiat out. And then through my entrepreneurial endeavors, make some mad gains. That's my thoughts anyway. Yeah, that's it. Wrapping up. HEX is up. Nice. Crypto's up. Nice. Could there be another leg down? Maybe. But for the time being, it seems okay until the next disaster occurs. Alright, keep an eye out, people. Signing out.